Dear God, okay, starting over. Hi, spiritual fam. Hi, spiritual team. Oh my God, I'm so unenthusiastic. Okay, let me just, for clarification, I'm not, my apartment is actually going up in flames. Like, there's a open drain in my bathroom. My bathroom just flooded. There are flies everywhere because of the moisture and the heat. And there's literally nothing I can do about it. And so, I'm seeing the little gnats here, and they're evoking such disgust and distaste with me. And I don't want that to negate from the reading. And I do think that at some point we're going to touch on, I'm looking at all the cards here, and I do think at some point we're going to touch on monitoring spirits. We're going to have to touch on people sending you ill will, and that's there. And I kind of feel like that's what these flies are representative of, at least for me here now in this moment. But yeah, this is the new setup because I really wanted to use my mic. I'm tired of using my AirPods, plus they're dead. Um, so yeah, so getting into it, I think what Spirit wants the collective, or the Spirit team, the fam, to know is, if you have been looking, I think starting off, what I was saying before I recognized that I wasn't recording, was that you is the Knight of Cups here. But for me in this moment, she's like, Spirit really wants you to recognize that you have like a duty. You have a duty to your community. You have a duty to your spiritual team. You have a duty to yourself. You have a duty to your ancestors. You have a duty that you kind of signed up for when choosing to incarnate here on this planet. Like, this is a prison planet. Not everybody is here by choice. Not everybody knows why they're here, but you know why you're here. You've been given those clear signs your entire life. You've been given the confirmation your entire life. You know what um, I won't say to the fullest extent of your destiny, because you are having some self limitations that are imposed upon you. So I can't say that you're fully aware of the magnitude that you have here on this planet, but you do have some inkling of your greatness, of your powers, of your knowing, your inner understanding. So I think starting off there, um, recognizing that you having that duty, and what comes next, which is kind of not knowing how to practice in this new environment that you're in. You're in a new place, you're in a new things that used to work for you may not be working for you now. And it's kind of like, I won't say I'm not, I don't, what I'm hearing is that like your spiritual practice is, you may be feeling like it's lacking due to the time, your time, the time that you have to give to it. But what I'm how oh gosh, how am I going to get this out? Because I'm hearing so much. Like, some some of you may be feeling like, oh, I don't have a spiritual practice anymore, and that's why nothing's working, or some the things that you used before don't work, and so now you're like, well, what the frick do I do? Like, or oh my God, this is not this is the cold plunge. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to cut that out because I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so you may be feeling like you could be not having a spiritual practice at all. You could be just, your spiritual practice looks like maintaining a connection and awareness in yourself spiritually. But going back to that duty, you do have a duty to yourself. You do have a duty to your team, and that duty is going to require you to be a little bit more conscious and intentional about how you, what's the word, exchange with the divine, or exchange with these energies. We have focus on higher truths, access clear thinking, and unlock your heart. That right now, just with that message, is like making me feel, I feel like there's a way to there's a way to think about it. There's a perspective that you can have about where you're at and what you're going through this transition to where your altar could be in here. You know what I mean? Like your altar can be within, you can make space and time and have it be just as important and just as impactful if you had your own altar, if you had a working space, if you had the funds to go get all of the offerings that are needed for you. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a way to shift your perspective about where you are currently to allow you more access to your powers. We have key ring fish woman. I'm just gonna read it again. I read it before, but the key that's 33. It says new possibilities, revelation, solving the problems, breakthrough. Oh my God. T. Um we have ring, partnership, union, promise, agreement, marriage, commitment. Now that ring kind of fell out and was near this, and that just makes me feel like you have this is not only are you committed to your life of elevating the consciousness of those who get to interact with your energy, it's also in the contract. If you view it this way, it's also in the contract that you have access to these powers. And I think what at least my spirit team is trying to get out to the collective is that you have contracted powers that you have access to now with the state of the world and all that technology has demanded that has access to. Well, now you get to have access to certain parts of your consciousness. Now you get to have access to certain you've always been able to have access to it, but like uh maybe you thought that there was some sort of initiation that needed to happen for it to make sense, or someone was going to have to teach you. I'm trying to say that the key to unlocking more of your powers is to, on one hand, see yourself as powerful, but recognize the commitment, recognize the contract. Maybe you could do your own divination on the ins and outs of your soul contracts. Maybe you can do your own divinations on what exactly, how exactly your power can manifest today in this time. I hope this reading can help clarify it because we get more into it. But the focus on higher truths, access clear thinking, and unlock your heart makes me feel like if you recognize your divinity whilst maintaining your perspective, you should be able to feel your way through this. You should be able to feel yourself into your gifts and powers so that they can connect with other people's gifts and powers so that actual change can happen on this planet. We have been focused, I know I have, but there has been a really huge focus on the self. And the self, it is know thyself, truly, absolutely. But if 20 people know themselves well enough and know their powers and know the ins and outs of their contracts, if you just follow me well enough, and they come together, change can actually happen, miracles can actually happen. And there is a revolution that is coming. There's a revolution. We are on the brink of a revolution spiritually, where spiritual warfare will be more tangible for our generations and the generations below us. Spiritual warfare, knowing how to actively engage in battle and protection and yes, prosperity is important, but seriously, protecting yourself, protecting your loved ones is also important. And there are going to be ways that you can do that without fully having to rely on the inventions of man. You figure that out. You figure that part out. But there are going to be ways to survive what is to come without having to rely on technology all the time, without having to rely on firework powder in a barrel. So that's that's a part of it. I don't know why this fell out this way, but we have the devil card falling out on top of the fish, and these are all together. So I'm assuming they're one another. So let's see what the fish is. I think I read key. Yeah, that's the new Revelations fish. Wealth, abundance, prosperity, business, money, affairs. Okay. Okay, because good fortune also came out over here. Um, the fact that the devil kind of flew out on top of the fish and is the word tandem? Fuck. Why do I do this to myself? Tandem? Why the hell? This is not a business email. Why am I hearing that word? In two-seated carriage, a group of two or more behind the other, or you, yeah, true. What I mean, in tandem with these other cards, the good fortune and gratitude cards. I think this is this is that I don't know if it's in this video because I've tried to record this video a couple times, but this is this devil card comes across as self limitations and like limiting beliefs, self imposed beliefs. I don't know what deck it is. I cannot find it. I have tried to Google this phrase. I think at this point, my memory does not have the phrase 100% correct, but there's a devil in a tarot deck that I have that the not definition, but you know, sometimes they have like an affirmation or something that makes it so you can relate to it on an emotional level. The point is the devil card in this deck is I am a slave to the master who created me, or I am a slave to the one who made me. I think it's not the one, it's the master. I am a slave to the master who created me, but it's the devil. So it's like that's what comes up right now in this instance that what that quote was getting at, which to me means devils are created, devils are a part of your consciousness, they're lower aspects of your consciousness, and the longer time you spend in negativity, the more powerful that aspect of your consciousness is. Um, it can never truly work against you because it's your consciousness, it's a part of you. But if you're not aware, if you're not able to, you feel me? If you're not able to access clear thinking, it can spook you and manifest outside of you in really weird ways. And so the fact that that's on top of this fish and like here kind of diagonally, just like in tandem, fuck it, to these cards that are right above it, it's like the lower level it comes out, it's like blocked by your limitations. Higher level is like understand the it's not blocked. Your good fortune, they're both about good fortune, money, abundance, just having your personal affairs not just in order but like fortunate. I think to have it with the gratitude. I think to have gratitude, you have to know what to be thankful for. And to know what to be thankful for, you kind of have to get to the ins and outs of your contract and do some more discovery of yourself and not just stay in that introspective energy. You need to take some time to introspect, but then say, you know, spend some time also giving that out, giving that energy back out. With the belief and knowing that it is going somewhere that you intended to go. Um, Moving on, we have the Unlock Your Heart card. It came out with this woman card. So maybe a lot of the collectives, they may be talking to the women or femininity in general, like just like, because it's also here with the water. We have the water, Nine of Cups, Unlock Your Heart, woman. We have the Queen of Cups kind of covering this Three of Swords. And I think that this goes over here. So just give me one moment to move this because we're going to get over here. But right now, I feel that's funny what's about to come up. What's these lower aspects of your feelings aren't to be eradicated by any means. They aren't to be demonized, but they are to be understood. You have there are a lot of negative feelings being thrown at people every day. And I know a lot of this collective is are there are a lot of empaths in this collective. There are a lot of sensitive. I mean, if you're a starseed, you're an empath. I don't care if you resonate with the word or not. You're sensitive. You understand the emotions of others maybe a lot more than you give yourself credit for. Um, you are going to find yourself somewhere on the emotional spectrum. And I think that is where your gifts are. And um, right now, if you have been lost for ways to move about these feelings so that you can, like, I'm looking at the higher levels are giving me these, like, the oracle cards, right? The good fortune, gratitude, what is it, Midgard. Let me stop quoting shit because I'm frazzled. Let's see. Midgard is the middle ground, obviously, and then is it Elfheim? What is? Let's just do Midgard tree, and then they'll probably tell me everything else. Period. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, you're just gonna give me a little bitty ass picture? Eat yourself. Can we? Come on now. I can't read that. Ah, oh my God, y'all should see how little this picture is. And the more I zoom in, the smaller the picture gets. Open the freaking image in a new tab. If you don't zoom the fuck in, all right, here we go. So we have Yggdrasil, Asgard, Midgard, period, and then Nephilim. What's below Midgard? What's below Midgard? Inferno. Okay, but what's above is Asgard. Okay, so Asgard's the higher, Midgard's the lower, but I'm not really seeing what's below Midgard, y'all. What is below Midgard? Hell. Yeah, very fitting with the devil. So these cards are kind of reading hellish shit. I think that this coming with the woman card, that like this powerful emotional feminine powerhouse, the Queen of Cups, is kind of hiding these demonic ass feelings, these of pain and resentment to those pain. I think I said this in another pick a card reading, but this is just something you're gonna have to offer to spirit. This is kind of like the Asgard level, right? Like I'm looking at where the cards are falling, and this is kind of like in Asgard, like to to excuse me, Baron, to um to unlock your heart, you're going to have to recognize that you're holding a lot of pain that you may not feel comfortable to not check, but um, like you don't want to open Pandora's box, truly. And I understand that. Um, Interesting. But if you see in this unlock your heart card, she's holding a key. I don't see any boxes behind her, but she's holding a key. And I do think that you might have to open Pandora's box. You might have to. This is going back to that perspective thing. You might have to switch your perspective and then approach it. But I think a perspective switch is something that can happen in an instant. You may not. You may not. You may need to switch your viewpoint about your feelings or those traumas that you have locked away. You may have to view them as if they are not Pandora's box. You know, like get them out of that box, get them out of hell, get your feelings out of hell and into some middle ground, into some safe zone, onto the planet. Like get them out of hell, get them out of the underworld. The underworld is always working in no in any for everyone and for no one at the same time. Okay, so I think if we take the channel up, we go from the Queen of Cups with the Three of Swords into the Woman card and unlock your heart. It's honestly only through her waters are you going to be able to move this up. And then we go finally all the way up to the Nine of Cups and water. I think I'm not a health professional, but like having more water, drinking intentional waters, like pouring your feelings, speaking those feelings into a cup of water, and then putting that water out for someone else to take. Not well. Hold on, I'm not telling you to do that, but just for some other human. But I mean, there's definitely a communion and an offering here with the water that is going to keep you in the Asgard, keep you like clear thinking and giving you more and more access to your power in real time. So you're gonna have to take it as it resonates with that one. But I'm looking at this woman card. She's looking to the left, and now I'm see this devil is hiding this fish, and she's not even looking at that. She's kind of looking at this key and this key ring with the Knight of Cups, which is making me feel like your duty is your emotions as well. Like you have to share your emotions with the world. The world has tried to get people to not feel, because if people humans are, communal. So if somebody is feeling, I think the phrase is mass hysteria in the negative, right? Like they don't want everybody, they um the powers that be, truthfully, that are creating this, that are abusing and manipulating this matrix to farm negativity and feed off of it. They are using they are choosing what you get to feel, and you're not really free to feel because it's demonized, and you can become ostracized for having too many feelings. You can't have feelings at your workplace. You can't have too many feelings in a relationship, especially if it's a heterosexual one, or if there's like heteronormative dynamics. It's really hard to be the one who's over emotional, or has access to emotions, because it's like something that most people grow up, feeling they're taught through their programming not to really access that. So you have people like me who feel a lot, and society puts a stamp that there's something wrong with me because I feel exactly what's going on. But the only way to have access to these powers, the only way to make change, is to feel all of them at once. You have to feel everything, at least this collective. That is your strength. That is your power. If you are not to, if you stop feeling, the earth will die. Everything will die. Everything will cease to exist. If there's no feelings, there is nothing to live for. Do you understand? Like, so um, you might have been putting, compartmentalizing in a way where your feelings, when you're in control, are higher vibrational, but then when you're not in control, you demonize them. And I think Spirit is asking this collective to get rid of that middleman, get rid of that Midgard perspective about your feelings, and just focus on higher truths. And the truth is, any feeling that is conjured from within, that can make itself known and you can bring it out, is divine and is to be shared. Feelings are not synonymous with opinions. They have some discernment and wisdom there, but your feelings are sacred. These are sacred treasures. Not everybody gets to feel. I don't remember what story. I don't know if this is from a story or a movie. I think maybe that one Korean show where them niggas was having dreads, bro. Like, and I fucking watched it like a doofus, but them fucking Korean motherfuckers had locks, bro. Like, I can't even. I don't know who did them wigs. Anyway, I think it might have been in that show where, like, at this particular time, in a very, very ancient time, not everybody was allowed to dream. Dreams were not normal. And then if you had a dream, you were kind of like grouped in with these priestesses or executed if you weren't a certain sex. I don't really remember. I could be remembering it wrong, but my takeaway in this moment is there was a point in time. I truly believe that there was a point in time where not everybody had access to the depths of their emotions enough to dream a better dream, dream a bigger dream. And this collective right here can dream a new world with 20 people, could dream a new world for everyone. And yes, the focus is you. Yes, you should dream a great dream for yourself. And yes, take care of yourself. But I think if you start to see yourself with everyone, if you start to see that the end goal is to feel good and have everyone feel good, you might be able to dream a better dream for yourself more. I don't think, looking at the cards, I don't think that they're able to be separate or separated. Um, let's move forward. I kind of like stayed in that feeling area for a second. I hope I drove the point home. I didn't talk much about the negative feelings because they're gonna resonate differently for everyone. But if you're triggered easily, or if you feel bad about making actions and decisions based on your feelings, that's the lower hell um, aspect of it. And the more scared you are to approach it, the more powerful you will be because by slaying it and conquering it. So that fear is a stepping stone to your power. So it's not even like equal; it's less than. So maybe that's incentive to get into it. Um, okay, so this is on the level. Okay, so now we have, oh, and so is this. Gotcha. We have um, listen to your intuition and recognize divine timing. Okay, the cross and the coffin, and the Ace of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Sorry, I'm like in this fucking mic. Let's see what the cross and coffin are talking about. The cross says fate, crisis, pain, hard times, trials and burdens, faith, duty, convictions. And the coffin is death, which we have death in the snake. I think I'm gonna get into it very soon about these like little trickster trickster motherfuckers and shit. Coffin, point of no return, ending and new beginning, emptiness, loss, and sadness. I think there is a um this is a death. This is a death, and I'm not talking about like a spiritual death or a physical one, interestingly enough. I think I'm talking about something that you believed before is over, something that you knew, um, or something. This is so graveyard to me, the coffin with the cross. There's something about um, the, the innocence. The innocence is lost, is what I'm hearing, or something um, that you thought was is dead. Like that, there's nothing, there's no point, there's a point of no return. And it was laid to rest through the rites of the religion that it is. I don't know. It's like hard to explain. In this moment, I'm looking at the three candles on the coffin, but from back here, it looks like a boat. So it's like maybe okay, now I'm getting a vision. One time I went to hell in a vision on accident. Like it was so weird. It was cavernous. It looked like a Disney. I've never been to Disney, but it just I guess they have boat rides. Like you can get on a boat and just like go into a weird house. But you know how small those rooms are when you're like in a fun house or in like a little road and they're taking you through this like haunted house. It was like a small space. We approached in this like very cool ancient ship, and some people got off. When you approached, there was a void. There was a void. Oopsie. There was a void from whence we arrived, and then once we passed the threshold into this space, the void began again, right? And then there was a void in front. You can't really see in front, and you can't really see in back, but you have an option to go forward on this boat, or you could get off and walk up some stairs. And I think this is where it trips me out because it was there was an iron door that looked something out of like Chainsaw Massacre or like one of those scary movies. It was rusted. It didn't have do not enter or hazard on it, but it looked like a prison door or like some door, and the railing was very relevant to the times that we're in. So, but everything else was cavernous, and it was so strange. Like they had a handicap ramp. They didn't really have, they did have some stairs, but they also had a handicap ramp. And I was just like, am I in hell? Um, I remember getting off the boat, but I remember being like, I'm not going through that door. I'm gonna wait for the next boat. And then the vision was over. And I go back to that space sometimes. And I bring that up because either spiritual help or some help from the dead, some help from the dead or the passed on is coming. All that to say, like there is a lot. There are things being sent here in ships from dead, like dead religions, dead gods are being revived. I said they're dead and gone because that's what there's an in there's net like and never coming back. I did say that, but what I'm getting from them in the combination right now is that there's something that has been lost to you, to time, to even I don't even know if we as humans in 2025 have access to the feeling that I'm feeling from this because it seems so ancient and so lost. But there's something there about that, and there's something there also about um Christianity not being the oldest religion, and the more you feel and the more you remember, the more everybody is going to recognize that is the case. And there's like a lot of war and pushback there. Listen to your intuition and recognize divine timing. I think I'm not trying to get super fanatical and sci-fi about everything, but especially with these other cards that came out to clarify, which I'll get into, this shit is not for the cameras. This shit is not for the Spotify. This shit is not for Times New York. This shit is not about a country named Japan or a place called Singapore. It's not human. There's something about this understanding and this understanding that supersedes humanity. And Spirit is asking this collective to truly focus on those higher truths and zoom out a little bit so that we can level the playing field. I think it's the least you can do. And if it's no sweat off your back to just change your perspective, show some gratitude and recognize your power and then apply it in the real time, then what do you have to lose? Because if you're afraid of losing your soul, if you're afraid of being put to rest and there being a cross on your coffin and you going to hell in this particular religion or mindset, that's not happening. That can't happen if you understand who you are. That just can't happen. So I think Spirit is really asking that you the recognized divine timing seems like, oh, you have to be able to see when it's divine timing, but also it's almost like recognize the divine in time. Like recognize divine and then timing. Like timing is just like it could just simply be recognized divine because time isn't as linear as we think. Um so what's in Asgard is the protection and transmute here. This protection and transmute cards, these cards to me, especially coming off that Nine of Cups from the feelings and into this aspect of the reading or this part of the reading. I remember hearing earlier, because also we have death at the bottom of the deck here and snakes at the bottom of the deck here, transmute with the snake. So, yes, I'm not into demonizing snakes because snakes are the black sheep of the consciousness of man. We all have a snake. We all have that snake coiling up our spine. Worms and parasites are the things that you have to look out for. Those are the ones, and they don't have a slithering tongue and they don't shed and grow. They just get longer and get more parasitic. But my point is, you are protected from any and all enemies when you are on the battlefield. Follow me. I'm not telling you to just disregard your spiritual protection. I'm not telling you that you have 100% immunity. But what I'm saying is this path creates such a force field around you that anything that happens to get close to it, it's like the vision I get is if it absorbs it and it transmutes, takes it. If you play Overwatch, it's like Sigma. Sigma has like this thing where he can absorb bullets. Supposedly, I have never seen it work, but like he can absorb bullets and then those bullets heal him or add to his armor. It's kind of like that. Like anything that comes in your range of protection that is against you um, is instantly transmutated to. And let's look at transmute and transmutate. Let's see, transmute. I know these words, but sometimes change in form, nature, and substance. Yeah, sorry, I had to do that because that's exactly what it's doing. It's like instantly transmute hate. The action. Well, yeah, it's the past tense. Yeah, it's like instantly transmutated to extend that area of protection, right? So it's like a yeah, transmutation ward. You can do those. That'll always help, but it's more like it's not rubber. I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you sent to me, it goes back and rubs off on you. No, it's there's no time to get your hands dirty. Like if somebody is stupid enough to shoot a black hole and come on, if you're gonna shoot a black hole or if you're gonna shoot a force field, you got to kind of be willing to accept that whatever energy you send to it only feeds it only feeds that energy. It's not going to penetrate it. Nothing of man can penetrate what is to come for it, this collective. Nothing man-made can penetrate it. And this is something that I used to visualize about all the time, but there's something very, very magical and ancient and divine in this collective. And if you are walking that path, it's like a perk of the path. It is something that comes with it. You need it. It is required for you to have this ancient, out of the consciousness of man thing kind of working in your favor so that you can continue to walk forward on your path. Um, and again, the only way to do this is to listen to your intuition, says here, and recognize divine timing. But listening to be able to do that, you got to kind of unlock your heart. And to unlock your heart, you have to access clear thinking. And to access clear thinking, you're going to have to focus on the higher truth. It says focus on higher truths. And so maybe there's several, but you're going to have to stop submitting to this matrix. It's not the matrix. I don't like that because it demonizes that word and how nasty and how negatively we talk about it. What's happening here is what happens majority on all other planets or all with all other conscious life forms. There's the feminine and there's a matrix that is created through interaction with that feminine. That matrix is a motherboard or a system that can be manipulated, like anyone or like anything can be manipulated and transmutated. It can be transformed. Actually, God can't. You can't really. It can be the point is the matrix can be manipulated, and what is manipulating the matrix is the issue, not the matrix itself. However, you're going to have to take a step out of, well, I'm going to scroll on TikTok and see. I'm not going to catch a slug with her because I do like her a lot. But let me see what you can. Oh, let me know. No. Let's see. Let me scroll and see the latest tea and the latest drama with Whoop De Whoop or So or Baddies or Drewski. Or you can't keep getting your soul sucked into this anti-matrix device, this anti-feminine, this anti-soul device, this device that is made to kill you. You can't keep trying to seek validation and seek um, validation and affirmation in something that is meant to work against you. You have to recognize that all of the things that you have access to, especially in America, are meant to harm you. That is not to make you paranoid. That is not to make you feel like, oh, you can't do anything about it. But that is to get you to recognize that everything is an op. Everything is kind of an op. Like you can deal with it, but as soon as you go glossy eyed and get into your automation mode, that's where we are struggling. And I think that that is happening a lot because here, that's happening a lot here. There's an automation mode that is happening to keep you away from these feelings. And this is kind of like the last stretch, or like not the last stretch, but this is like something that is hindering you from being able to save people's lives. You can save people's lives. So I'm hoping this is resonating. This is pretty long, but if you've made it this far, I'm happy we got here because I needed this too. Um, Alongside this, listen to your intuition and recognize divine timing. We have the Three of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Come on, the Three of Wands. What I'm hearing first, and again, excuse my hair. I have this. All right, baby. This is how you know Spirit wants me to give you the message because I'm not used to coming. I don't have no makeup done. Like I'm a lord. Like anyway, it's not gonna look like what you think it's gonna look like. That's what I'm getting with this Three of Wands. Also, I've just fucked up my hair, so just give me 2 seconds. It's not. And tonight, over again. I hope I'm still recording. Let me check reasons. I am okay. Perfect. Um, it's not going to look like what you think it's gonna look like. Because we're dealing with the eyes and the inner world and the inner visions of thousands of divine beings. So maybe listen to your intuition and see with your mind's eye only, because um, maybe being attached to what it looks like or what it should look like is hindering your being able to freely feel. Oh my God, why did I do that? Let me see. Oh well, we're just gonna I'm gonna ignore it for you, for us. Yeah, that's what I'm getting there. But I'll take a break on that to look at these last few cards. I'll probably have to tie them into these because we have the full moon. And the full moon. Stop, motherfucker. We have the full moon. We have the psychic card. See, that's what I'm saying. This is the divines coming together. And then we have nature spirits. It's a full out war. Like, it's a full out war. This is the dream dreamed by writers over centuries, from for over hundreds of years. This is the shit that epic, like mythos we're talking about. But this is going back to Idrisil, and the Midgard and shit. This might be what Odin is trying to get some sort of army. I don't know shit about them niggas like that, but like I don't know why it's coming up. Well, honestly, it's coming up because English is like super Germanic, and because it's Germanic, it's old pagan Norse. There's so many Nord words that we use, like want and need, and all of the things that are tied into how we get our powers are kind of Norse related. But Valhalla, I'm trying to figure out. They go to Valhalla for whose army? think it's Odin's army, but like, what is the war? Valhalla. Valhalla. Thank you. Heroic battle worthy of Odin's favorite go. Place of feasting in. Okay. Why does Odin army? Odin's army. Not I'm at my can't read that shit. The prepare Ragnarok, bitch. The fuck is Ragnarok, bitch? Oh my god. Oh my god. Ragnarok refers to the fate of the gods or the twilight of the gods, a cataclysmic event prophesied to bring about the end of the world. I got you. Okay. I don't know if you can see them. I literally have chills. I have chills because it says the fate of the gods or the twilight of the gods, a cataclysmic event prophesied to bring about the. I have chills every time I want to say this. Bring about the end of the world. Oh, I just got so many chills. Oh, the event involves a final all-out battle between the gods and the forces of evil. We're not gonna. It's just skewed. Fuck Odin. Like this is all skewed. Like this is all skewed shit. You know what I'm saying? So I need some light to my face. Why is this dark themed? Give me a piece of white paper. And tonight, I should not have sang that. Yeah, that'll work for me. Notes, that's so cute. Let's see, open image, a new tab. I just need some light on my face. There we go. Can I get a little zoom on? There we go. Okay, so let's keep going. Culminating in the destruction of much of the universe and the death of many of the gods. Okay, y'all. Okay, okay, it says the death of the gods and monsters. Gods themselves are destined to die in this conflict. And they said Odin and Thor. Both them niggas suck. Is this Norse? Yeah, it is. Ooh, my fault. No tea, no shade to the guys. Like I'm not. Don't stray away. Just kidding. God. We'll talk about that in another video. But like the Christian God, there's origins about him being a god of war. So like this spiritual battle. Oh my God, I was not, y'all, I was not anticipating this message here right now. So I'm going in blind with you. If you've made it this far, again, wow. Um, Alongside the giants and other monstrous creatures, the destruction of the world, the battle results in the world being engulfed in fire and water. So obviously, we're Team Water, destroying the known cosmos. However, also we rebranding. So Earth is getting a rebrand. And the only way to rebrand it in our favor is to dream what we want and to see and feel what we want. Because at the end of the day, this is a matron. Let's have a lesson. Let's see, matron, or we can get the will matron. Let's see what that means. I really do not want this dark themed. How do I? Not right now. Can we change the theme, bro? Yeah, bro. Like this is about to piss me off. Get that shit out of here right now. Yeah, nigga. Oh, I can change the colors. Oh my God. I did not know that. Hold on. Okay, period. Oh, okay. Thank you. Why is Chrome refresh? Why are you still dark? Bro, this is about to upset me. Like I cannot see. And tonight, please go away, song. I didn't mean to sing you. Earworms. Matron, a woman in charge of domestic and medical arrangements in a boarding school. A married woman, especially dignified, a sober middle-aged one. Niggas be saying shit. Okay, let's go. MATR Latin. Mother. Why you give me maternity matrix? Okay. I go by Genetrix. We feel it. Y'all feel it. You get it. You get it. Okay, let's get back to Ragnarok. Now, why did it work over here? Do I need to refresh the page? Type shit. Oh, type shit. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go. It says, however, Ragnarok is just the end. It also marks the beginning of a new world. I wasn't even. Wow. Where a new generation of gods will survive and rebuild. While the destruction is bleak, Ragnarok also carries a message of renewal, hinting a new beginning after the old world is gone. But it's the ultimate destruction of the gods. The ultimate destruction of the gods is in a cataclysmic battle with evil, out of which a new order will arise. Okay. Gotterdammerung. Let's see if they have. This is the German equivalent, but it says. I'm not trying to pronounce that at all. But damn. Okay. Got him out of ding dong. Valkyries rock. This is all metal. Okay, here, let's dictionary.com. Let's see. Got Götterdämmerung. Okay. In German mythology, the destruction of the gods and of all the old things in the final battle with evil powers, erroneous modern translation, Old Icelandic, Ragnarok, misunderstood, Ragnarok, whatever. Twilight of the Gods, The Ring of Nibbling? What's that? The Ring of Nibbling. How are you going to tell me to see the Ring of Nibbling and then not even have no results? I'm on a tangent here. But, okay. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm in shock. I'm in shock. All right, moving on. Yeah, you're gonna have to focus on higher truths. You're gonna have to understand that I'm not trying to say that the world is gonna end in today's time or tomorrow's time. However, this matrix is being manipulated so that everybody who is involved in it can dream and not see an end to what we're going through, like to what we're experiencing. The end is being manipulated, the minds are being manipulated so that so that one, the entities in charge of manipulating it can be fed because they do need to be on this planet. You're gonna have to eat. Like you're gonna have to, that's what mother's milk. Like you're gonna have to eat. You're gonna have to give back in some way, and take. That's just what it is. You're going. So my point is, everyone's being manipulated because they don't know how to feel. The only way to connect to mom, the only way to connect to the divine feminine is to feel. And no one knows how but this collective. No one knows how to get into it but this collective. These cards right here, I actually practiced this today, so it's amazing to see it just show up. But this is the full moon here. We just had one. This is the full moon. Does this psychic card not look like two moons coming together and having some sort of common middle ground? That means telepathic communication through psychic channels, through we're going to be able to talk to each other soon in a way that we won't need this all the time. We're good. I think this is perfect for what it is now. But for those who get it. And for those who don't, just ignore it. But like, you won't need this all the time to connect. This is a buffer. This is while we figure out the roles. Because that's followed by the nature spirits. I just think that a lot of, there's a lot of support spiritually, but of, there's a lot of souls and consciousness riding on you sharing your ability to feel, you sharing your ability to heal with the world so that they can have that blueprint, so that they can have that understanding on how to do it. For example, where the monkey Japan experiment. Oh my gosh. Okay, Japanese monkey experiment. The 100th monkey. Okay. The 100 monkey effect is an esoteric idea claiming that a new behavior idea spread rapidly by unexplained means from one group to all related groups once a critical number of members in one group exhibit the new behavior or acknowledge the idea. I'm almost crying here because I had no idea this was where this was going. The behavior was said to propagate even to groups that are physically separated and have no apparent means of communicating with each other. Since it was first popularized, the effect has been discredited in many cases of research. One of the primary factors in the spread of this concept is many authors quote secondary, tertiary, and post tertiary, whatever, Anyway, history. 100 million several Japanese primologists of the 1950s. So before before it was discredited. This is how I was given the story, and I don't believe. I believe what I'm able to read between the lines, because this experiment was done on humans at one point. They did the same. They took this concept and did the same experiment on a small group of people on like in a town in England, and then they largely broadcast it, and it had kind of the same results. So look more into it, do your own digging, but I'm going to use it here now to explain what we're going through. Basically, they taught one specific group of monkeys. They gave them dirty bananas, showed them how to wash off the bananas. This is not. I'm like I have it right here, but I'm gonna move it on. Showed them how to wash the bananas. This is, let's say Japan is an island, right? Or is it like this way? Japan is an island. The monkeys were shown down here. These monkeys have no means of communication, but they always showed these monkeys how to do it, and they documented it over time. And by a certain time, the people who were studying the monkeys and the primates up here were seeing that they just gave these monkeys the dirty bananas, and they instinctively knew how to wash them off, even though these two areas didn't know how to communicate. All of that to say, that's what we're going into. That's what's coming next. That's here. It's not what's coming next, what's here right now. And the only way to contribute and really get some shit going is to get your emotions not in check. I'm not telling you to check your emotions. I'm telling you to have them, feel them, use them, wield them, send them, receive them, take note, rinse and repeat. That's the message here. All of this good fortune comes with gratitude. Now, today, I genuinely cannot pronounce her name, but she's super popular. I had heard of her through the grapevine, because this is how spirit works. I'd heard of her through the grapevine, but my homegirl didn't know her name, and I just was never clicking. It never got on to my stuff. After a while, during the transition period, I finally clicked it because the title was really resonating. And then since then, she's come up a few more times. And I kid you not, at least to me, I don't know if is it Jadina or Jadina or Jardine. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she has absolutely transformed my life using these same tactics. And today, I just spent 10 minutes just giving her gratitude, like consciously, intentionally connecting to her energy and pouring in the utmost love and the utmost truth to that energy, because I think that's 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 the only way I know how to give back at this point. Like I can't do anything else but just acknowledge in my reality and do the physical things to change my subconscious mind about how these powers are about to grow. That's the only thing I can do to give back. But I know here that it was received. I know here that somewhere she will receive this message, even if it's in a deep layer of the subconscious. And then that's how we grow, and that's how we all grow and separate. You know what I mean? Like, if you believe your toxic ex is sending you energy and showing up in your dreams, and then you get it, you understand that you can use those gifts in amazing ways that can benefit the collective, and that can benefit other feelers, other people on the side of water, other people who are walking this battle of life together. Like, you can help. Um, Now, just disclaimer, I'm not saying this because I have a full perspective that this war, there's like a Zen, I cut myself off there, but there's this Zen approach. Is it nihilism? Is it Zen? Are they different? I don't know. Um, there is this perspective that I hide in, because honestly, I'm not trying to be rude, but they could be a bunch of cowards. Right now, they're coming off as a bunch of cowards where everything is perfect and the divine has it the way it is, and there's no reason to interfere as a human and just sit back. And there's only pain and attachment. And once you detach from everything, you can just truly be happy. And though there's some truth to that, there is cowardice in in resting in that when you have access to the knowledge and access to the tools needed to see change. There's no reason why. I don't care if this is a training ground for souls. I don't care if this is a prison planet. So, you know, maybe they did some horrible things on their other planet and now they have to come here and they have to suffer. I don't think justifying suffering is ever good. I don't think just to, I have had some horrible things done to me. I still don't think justifying suffering is perfect. I don't think that that's a perfected thought. So, I find it to be, I think everybody should be responsible for their own justice and everybody should be responsible for themselves. And I think everybody deserves to see a world where they can trust themselves. And because of that, they can trust the people around them, not glazed eyes sheep. Like that's not for this collective. I can't speak for people who genuinely don't know why or how they got here or see anything different. I can't speak for those, but for this collective, there is no reason to take that way out, that cop out way. There's only understanding your power and then using it um, for the benefit of those you love in your spiritual family and moving on. That's the only way out. A lot of souls are trapped here. This is hell. I know I've been calling it Midgard, which I think is funny the first picture I picked up, they didn't have hell in there. It was just Midgard was the lowest. Okay. So these nature spirits, I haven't gotten into them much, but that's how it's reading to me with the full moon and the psychic is that every soul, every spirit is up. That ancient dead and gone shit is rumbling the fuck up. The giants are moving. The fucking frost giants are defrosting. Everything is, all of that heat is causing things to cook, okay, and come to the surface. So it is up to you in this collective. It is up to you, feelers, healers, empaths, light workers, light seers, light seekers, to use those feelings and make the world a world you want to live in, not a world you want to escape from. Make it something that benefits the many who are being abused. Because I don't know how long it's gonna take to dismantle this archontic programming and complete rape of the matrix. I don't know how long that will take. I see things in society, and I can recognize that whatever is manipulating the minds of many has had time on their hands. This is a long, drawn out plan that has existed for a very, very, very long time, and it sees us as a blip in the long term. It sees us as a blip for this all of what we're experiencing right now in 2025, and I'd even say for the last 100 years, has all been working toward another goal. Okay, towards something else. It's the signs are there. The signs are signing. Okay, so I don't know how long it'll take, but I know. I mean, I guess you're not supposed to if you can. We don't need to know how long it's going to take if we can recognize divine timing, heard you, spirit. We don't need to know how long it's going to take. Um, because that divine timing is on time all the time. And there's so many spirits eager to be seen, eager to be heard, and eager to help you. And I think going back to giving those feelings or getting to understanding those feelings by feeding it. I didn't say this earlier, but I was remembering that someone something either someone told me this or I read it, but basically trees like negative energies. Trees like energy. Like trees, well, you can go give your tree all your problems, like and it'll take it and it'll move it and it knows how to transmutate. It naturally transmutes, so it'll know how to take that energy and help supply the forest and under help the land know what's going on if you're able to give it that. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this card and this card. It's like go everyone always says go out in nature, but if you're in a situation similar to mine, I'm not going to make excuses for us, but if you can't go out into nature, go into nature within. Create a world where there's a nature domain within and start make it and happen inside. And I guarantee you it'll happen outside. Um, but if you can, if it's not super hard on your body, if it's not super hard on your funds, if it's not super hard on your mind or taxing at no expense to you, no real expense to you, please practice saying your name. It's not your name, saying what you feel in a cup of water, and leaving that water outside somewhere. I'm not promoting littering, but earth friendly materials, please. But I think you can take these water cups and you can take these cups and fill them with water. All water is good water. All water is good water. All water it evaporates and goes right back to earth. So all water is good water. Say your feelings, say what you're struggling with, say whatever. Boop diddy scoop, whatever. Think about that feeling, feel that feeling, say it, release it, give it, and keep doing it as many times as it takes because your intuition, your psychic abilities, your ability to feel, your ability to navigate those emotions is required for this next phase of life. And it is required for you to understand and be able to. I'm not saying you need to explain what you do, but you need to know that you're doing something. That perspective about your feelings, that perspective about how you show up, know that you're doing something. I'm not saying you can try to fake it till you make it, but I think there's something really powerful in knowing that what you're doing is the right thing and it is going to help. And I think you deserve to be able to see how caring for your emotions, showing up as an emotional being, showing up as an avatar of the divine feminine, showing up as your true, authentic self is helpful. It is required to balance this chaotic state of the world. That is truly the channel I have and the reading for the collective. It was very long. It took me a while to get into this part of it. I genuinely hope it resonated. I learned a lot through it. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say. I really appreciate you not being too hard on me about my appearance right now. But I had to get on here and say that. If I didn't come on here and say it, I was gonna go drink, and that's this. See, and that's this motherfucker. There's a little voice that I've been hearing. There's a little voice that I've been hearing that just don't want me to be great. And if you're dealing with a voice like that, shut that motherfucker up. Say nigga, fuck it. You can if you can. If you can't say nigga, don't. But nigga, fuck you, motherfucker, fuck you. Okay. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Don't you tell me what to do. I tell me what to do. You know? Granted, somebody did it's not like I'm hearing these physically, but I had an impulse when I was lounging around in bed today that told me to get the fuck up out of bed. Get the fuck up out the bed. Get something done. So, um, listen to it if it benefits you. If it destroys you, it is not of you. That's the truth. No matter how awful the devil is, he only serves his master. Um, yeah. So if it you are not in your contract wired to self destruct. Okay, you don't get to have a self destruct button. Your self destruct is Earth destruct button. If you have to self destruct, the whole motherfucker's going down. So anything that is trying to destroy you or push you into destruction of your body is not of you. And that's the only thing that I would check. Put that little bitch in his place. All right. That's all I have for you, collective. I really love you. I had a good time. I kind of want to expand more and learn more about what the hell is going on. But guess we'll do that another time. Have a good night. Bye bye.